Hello, I'm Taylor, and welcome to my channel. I know, you're all wondering,
why is she in a neck brace?
This happened on my birthday, October 4th. My dad and I were driving to school and work. My car was at his work, so we were going to his work. He lives an hour away from the cities in Minnesota. Yes, I'm from Minnesota. We don't have that stupid Minnesotan accent that everyone thinks we have. Anyway, we're not here to talk about my accent. We're here to talk about this bad boy. So, my dad and I, we were driving to school and work. And we were in stop traffic. I was sleeping in the car. My dad was looking around and he noticed in his rearview mirror a truck was coming at us. He did not look like he was gonna stop or slow down or anything. So my dad said, "Oh, I'm gonna try and get over." So he tried to move over, but didn't do it fast enough. So my dad ended up getting hit. He was the first one to get hit. And the truck hit us going 70 miles per hour. And he hit us so hard that the back end went up. And we were facing, like, looking down at the pavement. Like, it was crazy. But when I woke up to hitting my head on something, or whatever it was, that's what caused me to break my neck. When we finally came to a stop, my dad got out of the car and was grabbing his chest and his back in pain and started screaming over and over again. And I tried to get out of the car and he said, "No, stay in the car, call Nana." So I called her and she said, "Hey honey." And I said,
Hey Nana, so Dad and I were in a car accident. It's bad. He's hurt.
and she asked what mile marker we were at and where we were, so I told her. And then she was like, "Okay, I'll be there as soon as I can." And then finally, like, when I hung up, I didn't know what to do. So I texted my friends in our group chat saying, "Hey, I just got in a car accident." And then my phone died. And then when my phone died, I just sat up and looked around more, noticed that the back windshield was gone. The driver's... Then I looked more and saw that the truck had kept going and hit the next car, which ended up hitting the next one and the next one, and caused a 6-car pileup. I was sitting there, all of a sudden these two men came up to me and my father. Turns out they were firefighters. One of them had been involved in the accident. The other one just pulled over to kind of help out and stuff. So they asked if we were in any pain. My dad instantly said, "Yeah, my chest and my back hurt really bad." So they're like, "Okay, we'll sit still, don't move or anything. You don't want to damage anything else in case there is." And then they noticed me sitting there and asked if I was in any pain. I said, "My neck hurts really bad." So then one of them came over, held my head until the ambulance got there. And because I was complaining about my neck, when the cops arrived, that's when they were like, "Okay, we need to call an ambulance, because if she's complaining about her neck, that's a serious injury." So yay, I get to ride in an ambulance. So this random guy is holding my head while we're waiting for the ambulance, and then asks, "How old are you?" I laughed a little and was like, "Today's my birthday. I'm 18. And he was like, "Oh no." I was like, So the next thing I knew, the ambulance finally arrived and they're putting me on a board and loading me up into the ambulance. My dad was supposed to get his own ambulance, but he refused because he wanted to ride with me. He didn't want me to, like, leave his sight. So then when he got into the ambulance, he started holding my hand and everything. And then the lady started attaching things to me, pricked my finger, and then proceeded to ask me, "What's your name? When's your birthday?" I was like, "I'm Taylor. My birthday's today, 2000. She was like,
oh no.
and so then we ended up arriving at the ER at this point, and we went into the hospital. They put me on a bed, and then the doctor ordered CT scans, which is my first ever CT scan, and my first time ever riding in an ambulance as well on top of that. But I went and got my CT scan, and on the way there to get my CT scan, like in the room, we bumped into my Nana. My dad had told her that we had gone to the hospital, but we ran into my Nana. The doctor like kind of bumped into her a little, and he said, "Can I help you?" And she said, "Yes, I'm looking for my son. He's in room 9." So he gave her directions. And then I said, "Hi, Nana." And she was like,
Oh, pumpkin.
as soon as she saw me laying there in a bed getting brought to get scans. Finally, I got my scans done. I came back to my room. I'm kind of waiting. Then my Nana came in and talked to me a little bit. After an hour of waiting, the doctor came in and said, "Hey, so we looked at the scans and saw that you have a hairline fracture in your C2 vertebrae." Okay, that's very key to this because just wait. And he said that I'm gonna have to be wearing a brace for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Then he went and told my dad, I have a hairline fracture in my C2 and I have to wear it for 4 to 6 weeks. So I was like, okay, why didn't you share on the same information? Okay.
Whatever.
My dad eventually got discharged and was just sitting in my room waiting for me to get discharged. And we got our own medications and stuff. We were on the same medication. And then the doctors gave me the papers finally. And we had to schedule an appointment to find out when I'm gonna get this bad boy off. Then we ended up leaving the hospital. So fast forward to 2 weeks later after the accident. I go to the doctors and they do my scans again. They told me it's my C6 vertebrae that's fractured, not my C2, my C6, which is a lot better than C2. Was this doctor thinking? I don't know. And I also have to wear this brace
For 6 more weeks.
I was very frustrated because I was like, at that point I'm gonna be in the brace for 8 weeks total, and plus it's not even guaranteed that I'm getting it off that day anyway either, so I could end up wearing it longer than 8 weeks. Then my dad went back to the doctors as well because he started complaining about his head and that it hurt really bad if he inhaled too deep or if he coughed or sneezed, it would just hurt really bad in his ribs. So they did scans on him. Turns out he has fractured ribs and he has a concussion. The doctor said that he didn't have anything wrong with him when we were at the ER. They didn't see nothing, and they didn't examine him fully, clearly. So then they gave him different medication and stuff. And then the guy that hit us, we're suing. We got an attorney and everything, and we got his information too. And when we looked him up after we got his information to see if he had a record, he did have a record. And he had been charged with 2 other DUIs previously before this accident. And plus he was driving without insurance, and the vehicle he was driving wasn't even his. But our attorney looked into it more and found out that he does have insurance, so that's good. So that way we can actually go after him, or go after his insurance company or whatever. Aww. But yeah. So I don't get this bad boy off till November 30th. Please, kids, when you're driving, pay attention. Don't drive under the influence. That's so bad. I'm so stressed. Anyway, yep, that's all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you liked it. If not, sorry I wasted your time. But leave a comment, like, subscribe down at the bottom. I'd appreciate it. So